Dear all, welcome to this super short tutorial on Adobe Photoshop 2021, the most famous and professional software for photo editing. It comes with advanced features for digital imaging, photo correction and manipulation, and several tools for vector graphic design to realize illustrations and express your art. It also belongs to the Creative Cloud suite, under a single or photography subscription plan. Do not forget to check our YouTube channel and our website to catch extra news, tips, giveaways, and much more for free. When you open Photoshop, its home screen page opens with everything ready to start working. You can pick any of your most recent projects in front of you or browse for these by going to Open on the left. To see how to use Photoshop, let's start from a new project with Create New. At this point, browse for the right template through the several categories on top, adjusting full properties under Preset Details on the right. You can set project name, width, height, orientation, resolution, and color codes as you like. When you click on Create, the new project opens on the main workspace, completely blank and white in color. You can use your mouse wheel while holding down the Alt key to zoom in and out on the big preview and the space bar to pan and move. Around the preview, you have all the features to draw, correct, and edit. On the left, you have the Tools bar, including several drawing and brushing tools. On top, there is the menu and the Options bar, showing the properties of the current object or tool, and the Home button you can use to come back to the home page. On the right, you have several panels to make corrections and manage all the objects inside your project. If any of these is missing, you can reopen any from the Window tab. Let's understand what a project is. This is also called Photoshop Document, and it is a composition of several independent objects called layers. Each layer can be an image, a vector, a piece of text, or a visual correction, all listed under the Layers window on the right. These layers, edited and put together, build the final appearance to be exported and rendered. At first, any new document is made by a single white layer used as background. If you find it locked in italic, just double-click on it to make it editable. Whereas, if you open any photo, this is indeed another Photoshop document with the photo itself as unique layer. With File, Open, you can open multiple photos. Getting all of these listed on several tabs on top, you can click on any of these to show the correct document on the preview. You can place any photo in another document if you need. Enable the rectangular marquee tool and click and drag on the whole picture to select it. Go to Edit, Cut, and open the interested document. When you use Edit, Paste, you import the photo as a new layer under the Layers window. To resize the document, enable the Crop tool and edit the grid on the preview. Drag from the nodes to scale, outside these to rotate, and within the grid to move. Checkerboard areas may also appear, representing blank regions completely transparent with no pixels. Use Cancel or Commit to undo or apply the crop. All imported photos and images are also called pixel layers, since they are rendered in finite pixels that you can see if you zoom in enough. To edit any pixel layer, just select it from the Layers window and use any brushing tool on the left, clicking and dragging on the preview directly. Some of these tools are grouped, showing a white corner on their button. You can get their full list by right-clicking on it, hovering over such button to watch useful video hints. Enable the Brush and Pencil tool to draw freehand. picking the right color from the color panel on the right, or from the preview itself by holding down the Alt key. Then adjust the brush size, hardness, style, and several other tool properties from the Options bar on top. With Clone Stamp and Healing Brush, you can correct the photo imperfections. First of all, take any reference point by holding down the Alt key and then brush on the picture. These tools brush pixels from such reference or cross point, dropping exact copies with Clone Stamp and copies with matched color with Healing Brush. You can also use Spot Healing Brush to correct small imperfections with just one click. Enable the Blur or the Sharpen tool to increase or decrease the blurriness level by brushing on the photo, whereas use the Smudge tool to drag the photo pixels on any direction. With the Dodge and the Burn tool, you can increase or decrease the brightness level of the photo highlights, midtones, or lowlights. Then, use the Sponge tool to adjust the color intensity, increasing it with Saturate mode and decreasing it with Desaturate mode. Remember to use Ctrl or Command and Z once or multiple times to undo any of your past actions made. Enable the Eraser tool to remove pixels from the photo by brushing on it, reducing hardness to include some feather. Photoshop has very advanced photo corrections inside Filter, Camera Raw Filter. This includes color filters, noise reduction, color curves, HSL sliders, and the newest color grading option to correct color saturation and luminance on all the lighting ranges. Check this out. Whereas, if you need to retouch people's faces, you can go to Filter, Neural Filters. This new feature is able to add age, change the face expressions, and smooth skin imperfections. A true masterpiece to try. With Photoshop, you can also work with vector layers such as geometrical shapes, freehand curves, and pieces of text. In respect to photos, these are not rendered into pixels, so they do not lose quality and resolution when you resize and edit these multiple times. Enable any Shape tool and click and drag on the preview to drop vector lines and either regular or custom shapes, including the newest triangle. Always use the Options bar to adjust properties, such as fill and stroke colors, line thickness, and style. Whereas, use the Type tools to drop horizontal or vertical text. Click and drag to define a text box and type inside it. Setting font family, style, distribution, and color from the Options bar, or the most complete character window. Remember to select any text to make changes effective and use Cancel or Commit above to undo or apply text. All these vector layers can't interact with the brushing tool seen before because they are not made by pixels. You can render these vectors by right-clicking on these and use Rasterize Layer. At this point, you can edit and correct these just like images. Pay attention that this rendering process is permanent. Let's see how to manage photos and vectors from the Layers window. You can use the I button to hide and show each layer, and the Lock button to prevent any modification on the selected layer. Whereas, click on the Bin button at the bottom to delete the current layer. The layer position in this list is also important to set the order of visibility in case these overlap on the preview. The layer placed on top is also put in front of all the other layers at lower positions. Moreover, you can right-click on a layer and go to Blending Options to apply special effects including contours, glow, shadow, color overlays, and more. Whereas, if you need to make basic transformations on any kind of layer, just select it and go to Edit, Transform. At this point, you can move the object by clicking and dragging, and use its nodes to scale, rotate, or skew with precise properties, and cancel commit buttons on top. Photoshop also has several selection tools to define limited dashed regions from the layer selected. These are used to contain all your next brushes, corrections, and cut-paste operations within such area without affecting the whole layer. For example, with the marquee tools, you can make simple rectangular or elliptical selections, whereas with the lasso tools, you define custom regions freehand or guided. You can also enable quick selection to cover complex and wide areas that share the same color, and the Type Mask tools to make selections by following any text content shape. Remember to use Control or Command and D to remove all the selections made. Besides the brushing tools, you can use the Adjustments palette to apply corrections, this time to any pixel or vector layer. When you pick any, you create a new adjustment layer affecting all vectors and photos below it in position. This is composed by its overall properties on the left that you can open and edit by double-clicking on it, and its layer mask on the right, showing where the adjustment is applied. By default, this is completely white, affecting the whole Photoshop document. If you drop the adjustment with any selected region present, the layer mask will take its shape. To save the current document on the preview, go to File and then to Save As. Choose whether to save it online on the cloud as a PSDC file or on your computer as PSD. Whereas, if you want to render the document to export or print it as an image, choose JPG or PNG. Thanks for watching this video. Please visit our YouTube channel to get tips and more free tutorials on Adobe Creative Cloud.